Hi all, this is Deb at Dat Doings, and I'm participating today in making my June journal, Scraps to Treasures, being sponsored by Susan Hiles, at Susan Hiles Art, Turquoise Dreaming, Sherry, or Sherry at Turquoise Dreaming, and Maria at Maria's Miscellany. So I'm not really going to show you how I made this. I'm just going to give you a preview of it. I've been working on my journal cover today, and it's turned into I guess I'd call it a geriatric woman's inspiration board. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to take you through it and show you what I've done. I took a used priority mailing box and cut a piece that I thought was going to be about the right size for what I needed to do. And so then I started debating about how I wanted to put this together, and here we'll go looking at it. I'm going to lay it flat so it's going to kind of look like an inspiration board, and let me see if I can give you a view of it here pretty quick. All right. The reason I say it's kind of an inspiration board to me is because I had started making this cover, several weeks ago, I guess. And I don't know, it just wasn't coming together. You know how that is sometimes. So today I got really serious about it and realized I just needed to put odds and ends on it that I appreciate. So as I worked on it, of course, one thing led to another, and before it was over, I was beginning to realize that this is an inspiration board, basically, and I've been wanting to do one, so here we go. I'm a big coffee drinker, so of course there has to be a coffee mug someplace. But I found this picture of a lady in a beautiful turn-of-the-century frame, and it reminded me so much of one I'd inherited from my mother. And then here's this lady picture on a high wire, doing a high wire act. And, just like a lot of grandparents in this day and age, I kind of walk the high wire, trying to keep everything going for my grandkids and my son, eldest son, as well as my husband and our home and so forth. But I look to my leadership of past years, thinking of my grandmother and my mother and all that they left behind for me, and inspiration that they left. And so I want to, above all, I just want to keep blooming. And then some of the things that help me bloom, I love magazines. I'm really pretty addicted. I like a lot of the Stampington magazines, and I have way too many of those, but I use them and go back and look. This picture in the background just reminds me of, well, once upon I had a girly figure, and I had a professional career, and this is kind of the way I would have dressed for that. But not anymore. Now you'll find me barefoot and in jeans and tending flowers, and I guess my hands don't look too bad today, but yard work means I don't have a manicure, etc. But I kind of think of myself as the ever-ready bunny, Energizer bunny. So I put him into here to remind me to, when I'm given opportunities, take them. Be excited about it, find the energy to do it, because you never know how many years you got left. And I'm 72, but I have friends who died when they were 73. So anyway, whatever. This little bunny's got a reminder for me to always keep things on the calendar so you don't forget. Always love. Always appreciate your home and have gratitudes for the things of the neighborhood and the wildlife and all the beautiful flowers that I've been able to raise. And then something that I put on the binding, or the, I can't think what this is called, was a part of that card that Sue Hiles had gotten from one of her viewers. I really like this quote. God's the gardener of our souls, tending to our every need with his unending love. And that's a quote from Julie Campbell. And it is so, so true. And I appreciate the fact that I can honestly say I'm a Christian and I love it. Anyway, so I thought that was a great, something to keep around as an inspiration and stay positive. I put I clipped out a clip art of a postcard because I want to start sending postcards again. My gosh, I did that for years, but I think I'm going to get that started again. And then I've shown you how I love to paint with the dyes that I get out of flowers that I raise. And so this is just some of that paper, but it's an inspiration to me to remember, keep on, keeping on, do what you love. Here's my little art fairy that came from a stamp that I've got from Red Lead over in St. Louis. And she just looks so much like I looked once upon a time as a little girl. And I guess that's why I like her. Not too big into fairy wings on people, but oh well. And then I have a dear friend that is crazy about butterflies, and I want to keep her encouraged. And then these were stamped on a cupcake paper, and I put that as a backdrop because, well, this is the summer, I want to start baking with my youngest granddaughter, and we'll probably be doing cupcakes. Then something else I want to make this summer that I thought looked so delicious. I'm a big, I love all kinds of new opportunities to cook. But see, this is a picture of some stuffed peppers, and they did them in a, they put their mixture in red skinned peppers, and I just thought how pretty that looked, and something different, and that stuffed pepper is one of my favorite foods. And then I chose to use the word discover because I'm always looking for new things to be aware of and try. And then we'll have some holidays through this summer, so we're going to make things to be a day to remember, things like the 4th of July, etc. And I am so thankful for each of you because I feel like I am crafting with the finest of fine. Every time I get an opportunity to see some of your work and your hobby rooms or studios or whatever. And then this was off of a calendar that I'd saved. Happiness is something that comes into our lives through doors. We don't even remember leaving open. And I almost talked myself out of doing this project of following along for the month of June, but when I figured out, I need it as a motivator to get this book pulled together because I don't know, I think I've alluded to the fact my life's been very hectic ever since January, and just too much to go into here. But anyway, I have a need to pull together lots of things I don't want to forget about, and I want to have them for memories, but I also want them for inspiration points and things. So anyway, that's why I'm doing my book is going to contain things from a number of months. Now, we're going to look at the inside. Okay, let me see. This is So now you've seen the front of my, I don't know, maybe I can raise this up. At the front of my, oh, the lighting is weird. Okay, so you've seen the front of my book, my journal, and you've seen the spine cover, and you've seen the back. So now what we're going to do is go to the inside. Now on the inside, the reason I jokingly kind of call it my geriatric inspiration book is, believe it or not, I just have to remind myself, have a list or things to remind myself of things to do for myself for self-care and enjoyment. Because, gosh, you know, when you get busy sometimes or things get hectic, sometimes it's really easy to just, you know, sit back and go, oh, I'm too tired, or I don't want to do anything, or whatever. And if you have reminders of some things you want to accomplish, it really helps, or at least it does at my age. So, see, I've put a little thing that I clipped out about the Topeka Shawnee County Public Library, which is a multi-million-dollar place, and it's not that it's worth so much, but they just have so many wonderful opportunities over there, and it's kind of in Midtown, and I just need to get over there and check things out again. This was an envelope that I stuck here to make a pocket that I want to have a place to keep things on this front cover that, you know, as I have things that I want to put in here. So I thought, well, I wanted to get that glued down, even though we're not really doing, flaps and pockets, etc. this week. And then I thought it was real appropriate to clip off this thing about Sue Hiles off of her website, because she's just such a dear, dear person, and I love her attitude about life. And sometimes, you know, if you just have something like that to remind yourself and perk up about, it really is helpful. See the bare feet? Well, I'm going to do more barefooting. You know, as an older woman, no, they don't, you know, you're always supposed to have your shoes on to protect your feet and stuff, things, but I'm going to go barefoot more and be more grounded sometimes. And red, white, and barbecue, oh yeah, that's going to be my motto for the whole summer, I think. And then we have wonderful farmers markets here, and I'm not planning to go for the sake of, you know, prospect of being out of food, but we have just wonderful things that go on at these farmers markets. So I found this handy dandy list of where they're having them this year, and I want to go do that. I'm sorry, the light's kind of awkward in this room right now. This is my upstairs, I call this my upstairs studio. Anyway, down through to find things to put along the inside of the, gosh, you know, see, I can't think of the name of the word I want for spine. Okay, for the spine. See how it says the cat's pajamas? Well, that reminded me of a sweatshirt I made once for my daughter-in-law, and it had cats all over it, and I thought that paper was so cute because it reminds me of how my son he and his kids now have 6 cats, and they've had 2 litters of kittens, and they're finally old enough to, you know, give some of the kittens away, and I'd like to have a kitten, but probably not going to get to have one. And anyway, it's just kind of a joke in our family about, gosh, all these grandcats. Now you're going to laugh, but see that Bodine's Pest Control is the fellow we use for spraying. And I'm so afraid I'm going to forget to have him come in when I need to. And I found that in just a magazine paper thing, and thought, I'm going to stick that in there as a reminder to get him over here to spray when I start seeing bugs this summer. And then this little scrap picture here is something I found. I think this is a great lesson. I have a dear, dear friend who's going through, her husband just passed away and stuff, and You know, I was so surprised when I went to her home, because it's quite a distance from here, and I didn't realize how I'd lost track of what her favorite colors are. And these are her favorite colors, and she's going to transition to a different home environment, and I wanted to have this to remind myself so that as I'm sending her little encouragement cards and so forth, what kind of colors to try to use or whatever when I make things. Now, as I said, oh, this is on the inside, and I foresee that I will add things to this as time goes on, as I'm working on it and I'm using it as a project. And so it's just really a start. And I'm not sure yet whether I want to add paint edging. Let's see, where did I do that on the back here? I kind of like this. See how I did that? Just took some acrylic and put it along the edge. I kind of like that. Kind of just roughed in a border. Thinking I might finish that. But I also thought about the possibility of on the front, I'm a washi tape connoisseur, I guess. I've got way too much for my own good, and I was thinking, well, maybe I want to go around the edge of this with washi tape. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see over the course of time. I am, if you're interested, what I am going to do for my spot to hold my pages for next week, I've decided I'm going to have 5, I want to say segments. That's not what I mean. Help me, people. Can't think of the word I want. Anyway, 5 dividers, and I have hair, the real long hair bands, and I'm gonna rubber bands, and I'm gonna use those to hold my pages. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing this. This was the inside. That's the back inside cover, and this was the inside of the front cover. So maybe that'll give you some inspiration. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I may or may not finish the edges this week. I might just wait and do some more of that kind of stuff. Next week, or really the week after, when I'm polishing and making ephemera and things. Probably that's when I'll do figure out my edge, but we'll see. Anyhow, I want to show you something that I've done to finish this off with. This is a encouragement card that says, if only you knew the woman who made all of this. And then you flip it over, and there's some women, and it gives a date. I put the date on it because I like to keep, and I thought, she can just have that tucked in her breeches. So that way I'll know in the future what year, this was made in. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. That's what I've done. And I hope you're having a great time with your project. Hope to see them on the web. Bye.